My name is Sophie. I'm 26 years old, and I work full-time as a nurse at a small hospital in Brookside. After years of working night shifts, picking up extra hours, and saving every dollar I could, I finally bought my dream, a brand new silver Toyota Camry. It wasn't flashy, but it was mine. My first car. That day, I felt proud. More than proud. I parked it in the driveway, cleaned the inside twice, and even put in a little air freshener that smelled like vanilla. I called my parents outside to show them. My mom smiled and said, "Wow, it's beautiful." My dad gave a small nod and asked how much I paid. Then came my younger sister, Lena. Lena is 22. She's in college, doesn't have a job, and still lives at home. I pay her rent and her college fees, something she doesn't know. I've been quietly helping her because our parents couldn't afford both of us, and I wanted her to succeed. But Lena didn't say congratulations or even smile. She just rolled her eyes and said, "So what? It's just a car." I ignored her comment. I was too happy to let her ruin the moment. Later that night, Lena knocked on my bedroom door. She was holding a big pink purse and looked excited. "Hey, Sophie," she said, trying to sound sweet. "Can I borrow your car this weekend? Me and my friends are going on a road trip to Lake Haven." I paused. "Sorry, Lena. I just bought it. The insurance is new, and I don't feel comfortable handing it over yet." Her smile dropped.
Wow.
"Seriously? After everything I've done for you?" I blinked, confused. "She did things for me?" "I'm sorry," I said again. "Not this time." She stormed off without saying another word. I didn't think much of it until the next morning. When I opened the front door to go to work, I froze. Every window of my car was shattered. The mirrors were broken. There were deep scratches along the sides, and the windshield was cracked all the way through. A long metal rod was lying on the ground next to it, and Lena was standing near the porch, sipping iced coffee like nothing happened. My heart dropped. She had no idea that I had been paying her entire tuition. But now, everything was about to change. I stood there, staring at the broken glass sparkling in the sunlight. For a second, I actually thought I might faint. That car was everything to me. Not just a ride, but proof that all my hard work meant something. And now it was ruined. Lena didn't even flinch. She looked me right in the eyes and said, "Next time, don't act like you're better than everyone else." That hit hard. I wasn't trying to act like anything. I just wanted to protect something I earned. But in her eyes, I was suddenly the enemy. I didn't scream. I didn't cry. I didn't even ask her why. Instead, I slowly walked back into the house and picked up my phone. The first thing I did was open my banking app. Then, I canceled every payment connected to Lena. Her college tuition, her apartment rent, her phone bill, all gone with a few taps. She had no idea I'd been covering those expenses for over a year. Our parents thought the school gave her a scholarship. Lena thought our uncle helped, but it was me. I took on extra shifts, gave up vacations, skipped dinners out. All so she could have a future. Now, that future was no longer my problem. After that, I went to my room, pulled out my small suitcase, and packed everything important. I left the house quietly, didn't say goodbye. I taped a note to the fridge that said, "You destroyed what I loved. I just stopped funding what you love. Let's call it even." I got in a cab and drove to my friend Jasmine's place across town. She opened the door with a confused look. "What happened?" she asked. I just handed her my phone, showing her the photos of my car. Jasmine's jaw dropped. "Sophie, you need to post this. People should know what she did." I shook my head. Not yet. I needed to plan this carefully. Revenge wasn't about yelling or drama. It was about patience, truth, and timing. And the timing would come sooner than Lena expected. 2 days after I left, I got a flood of messages from my mom. Lena's crying.
What's going on?
Her college called. They said her tuition was never paid. "Sophie, if you did something, fix it now." I didn't reply. By the third message, I could almost hear the panic in my mother's tone. Lena must have finally realized I wasn't just her sister. I was her silent sponsor. And now that I was gone, the safety net was gone too. That same morning, I called Lena's college and emailed them a complete record of my payments from the past year. I made sure they saw the receipts, the bank statements, the proof, just in case Lena tried to lie her way out. Then, I called the landlord of the off-campus apartment. You'll probably hear from a girl named Lena soon. Just so you know, I won't be paying her rent anymore. She vandalized my car. The landlord was shocked. Wait, you were the one paying? I thought her parents were. Nope, just me. Within hours, everything started falling apart for Lena. She was locked out of her student portal. Her phone was shut off. Her landlord gave her a week to find new housing or leave. And my parents? They were fuming. But instead of blaming Lena, they called me. My dad messaged, "We didn't raise you to be so cruel. She's your sister." I stared at the message in disbelief. Fool me? She smashed my car with a rod. I walked away without a fight, and I was the cruel one? That night, I sat with Jasmine and showed her the security camera footage. Her neighbor's camera had caught the entire thing. Lena walking up to the car with a rod, smashing window after window. Jasmine leaned forward. "You need to post this, Sophie. Not to get revenge, to show the truth."
So I did.
I uploaded a simple post with a photo of the car. This is what jealousy looks like. You give, and one day, they destroy the one thing you bought for yourself.
I didn't yell.
I didn't fight.
I just walked away.
But now, I want people to know the truth. Within 2 hours, it had over 1,000 likes. Then 2,000. Then 10. People began sharing it. Some from my town, others I didn't know at all. The comments came pouring in. "You're stronger than I could ever be. She deserves to face consequences." Family doesn't mean tolerating abuse. But the one that really hit me was this. Sometimes, walking away is the loudest thing you can do. And I knew the silence was over. By the next morning, the post had gone viral in our small town. People I hadn't spoken to in years were tagging me in shares, sending messages of support, even offering help to fix my car. Some of Lena's college classmates commented things like, "No wonder she never thanked anyone. She acted like she was better than the rest of us, while someone else paid her way." For once, I didn't feel invisible. People saw me, really saw me, not just as the quiet, responsible daughter, but as someone who had sacrificed so much for others and got nothing but betrayal in return. Later that day, my mom called. I didn't pick up, but her voicemail was sharp. "You've embarrassed this family. Lena's getting harassed. Everyone is judging us. What do you want, Sophie? An apology? Come home, and we'll talk like adults." Talk like adults? No one talked when Lena shattered my windshield. No one talked when I carried this family's financial weight for years. I ignored the message. But then, something I never expected happened. My Aunt Rosa called. She was always kind but stayed quiet during family drama. I hadn't heard from her in almost a year. Her voice was calm, but there was a tremble to it. "Sophie, I saw your post. I had no idea it had gotten this bad." I paused. "You mean Lena?"
"No," she said.
"Everything. Your parents, how they've always favored her. I've kept quiet for too long, but I want you to know I'm proud of you." I didn't expect the tears, but they came. Aunt Rosa offered me her spare guest room in the suburbs. I accepted, not because I needed a place to stay, but because for the first time in years, someone from the family chose me. 2 days later, a letter arrived at Aunt Rosa's home, a formal one from a law firm. My father had hired a lawyer to demand that I remove the post, claiming it was defamation and public humiliation. I scanned the paper, then smiled. I sent my own letter back through my lawyer, along with proof of the vandalism, payment records, and the footage. And just like that, the roles flipped. I wasn't just the older sister anymore. I was the one in control. While my family's world was falling apart, mine was quietly rising. I focused on my job, the one place where I was respected, valued, and needed. At the hospital, I picked up extra shifts, handled emergencies calmly, and supported the younger nurses like a mentor. Patients remembered my name. Some even requested me by name when they returned for follow-ups. One Friday morning, just as I was about to leave after a long night shift, my supervisor called me into the office. I was instantly nervous. Did I miss a form? A protocol? She smiled. Not at all, Sophie. Actually, it's the opposite. Then she slid a formal envelope across the desk. We're promoting you to head nurse of your department, she said. Your leadership, dedication, and compassion haven't gone unnoticed. I froze. Wait, really? She nodded. Also, with this new role comes a significant pay increase. Your salary is doubling, and starting next month, you'll have your own office. For a moment, I didn't speak. I just sat there, stunned. All those nights I cried in silence. All the times I gave everything to others and got nothing back. Suddenly, someone saw my worth. I walked out of that office in a daze, not sad, not angry, just full. Later that evening, I took myself to dinner alone. I didn't need anyone to clap for me or cheer. I looked at the bill when it came, smiled, and paid it with ease. And for once, I wasn't calculating what I'd have left afterward. I had enough. More than enough. Back home, Aunt Rosa hugged me tight when I told her. That's what happens, she said gently, when good people stop letting others drain their light. The world finally shines it back. Meanwhile, I heard from a neighbor that my father had to sell one of his old investments to cover Lena's damages, and even then, they were still falling behind. But I didn't feel smug. I didn't feel vengeful. I just felt done. The next few weeks passed in a strange silence. Not the heavy silence I used to live with at home, the one filled with judgment, favoritism, and unspoken expectations. No, this silence was peaceful, freeing, like I had finally stepped out of someone else's shadow and could breathe on my own. At the hospital, things moved fast. I got my own office, a team of nurses to lead, and more respect than I had ever imagined. Doctors listened to my opinions. New nurses came to me with questions. For the first time, I was seen as someone who mattered. The paycheck was just a bonus. I even got approved for a company car, not brand new, but clean, safe, and dependable. And this time, I didn't park it in a driveway where anyone could touch it. I parked it under a roof that came with trust. One day after work, while I was waiting in line at a pharmacy, I ran into Mrs. Taylor, one of our old neighbors. She looked surprised to see me. Sophie, dear, I heard what happened with your sister, she said carefully. I just want to say, I'm glad you stood up for yourself. I smiled politely. Thank you.
She leaned in.
I also heard your parents are struggling. Word is they had to cancel their vacation to cover repairs and late payments. I just nodded. That's unfortunate. But inside, I felt nothing. No guilt, no pleasure, just distance. Aunt Rosa and I talk more often now about the future, not the past. One evening over tea, she asked, "Do you ever think about going back, visiting them?" I shook my head. They never came after me when Lena broke the car.
They came after me when I stopped paying.
And that's the truth. They didn't miss me. They missed my money, my silence, my willingness to carry their weight. Well, not anymore. I wasn't angry. I wasn't bitter. I was just done. And in that quiet moment, I realized sometimes the best revenge isn't payback. It's rising so high that they have to look up just to remember what they lost. A few months later, things were stable, maybe even better than I thought possible. My new role at the hospital felt natural. I wasn't just doing the job, I was thriving in it. I trained new nurses, managed staff schedules, and even got invited to speak at a medical seminar about leadership in high-pressure environments. The same girl who used to stay quiet at family dinners was now leading entire teams. One evening, after a long shift, I got home and found an envelope slipped under Aunt Rosa's door. No postage, just my name written in hurried handwriting. I knew who it was from before I even opened it. Inside was a folded letter from Lena. It smelled faintly of her old perfume. The words were scribbled in blue ink, uneven and smudged in places, maybe from rushing, maybe from tears. Sophie, I know I have no right to ask anything from you. I ruined things. I was angry and stupid. I thought you were just trying to control me by saying no. I didn't know you were the reason. I was even in college. I didn't know until it was too late. I'm not writing this for pity. I just wanted you to know I'm working now. I'm trying. Life's not easy. And maybe that's what I needed to finally grow up. You didn't deserve what I did to your car, or how I talked to you, or how I made you feel like less when you were doing more than anyone. I miss you. Not your help. Just you. I read the letter twice. Then a third time. Then I folded it back up and placed it in the drawer beside my bed, not to hold on to, but to remind myself of something I'd finally learned. Forgiveness doesn't always need a reply. I didn't text her. I didn't visit. I didn't send anything back. But I didn't hate her either. I just moved on. Some people only learn when the silence becomes louder than your words. And I had said all I needed to by walking away. One sunny Saturday morning, I stepped out of my apartment building, dressed in scrubs, coffee in hand, and keys in the other. I was on my way to lead a hospital orientation for new nurses, something I once thought I'd never have the confidence to do. As I walked toward my car, I paused. There, parked 2 spots down, was a car almost identical to the one Lena had destroyed months ago. Same color, same make, but this one wasn't mine. I had a better one now, one that came through my promotion, not years of emotional sacrifice. I smiled, not with sadness, but with peace. Because I wasn't that girl anymore, the one who needed validation, who gave endlessly just to feel useful, who stayed silent while others stepped on her. Now I had my own place, my own money, a career I loved, a quiet home filled with laughter, not tension, and a version of myself I never thought I'd meet, confident, calm, and unapologetically whole. Later that evening, I had dinner with Aunt Rosa and Jasmine on the patio. We laughed over silly stories from work and shared plates of pasta under soft patio lights. No one asked me for money. No one talked down to me. No one made me feel like a second choice. Before bed, I sat by the window with a cup of tea and thought about everything that had happened. The car, the betrayal, the letter. And then I thought about the journey. I had been the quiet one, the giving one, the underestimated one. But now, I was the woman who knew her worth. I didn't need revenge. I didn't need applause. And I didn't need anyone's approval because I had built something stronger than payback. I had built a life they could no longer reach. And that was the most surprising part of all.